Going live. Am I live? Hello, this is a teacher. Let's take a look at this chapter 6, and the book is called How to Solve Life's Problems. It was originally written by my teacher, and I decided to publish it because it's so important. And I use this book as part of my teaching and the work. The work is to learn, to understand, and to grow and to change one's character. Now, it goes like this: creating your inner destiny with new beginnings. Do you understand the begin again principle? Do you know how to begin again at any moment and leave the past behind? How to disengage your mind from old negative memories and live in the present, going towards a better future, a better life, a better state. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Some of you, I'm sure, have been able to do it, but most of us are not. I'm not talking about suppressing your feelings and your emotions. The work that I do is the journaling process. And this is what I work with. I work with a journal, and I write down the events that trigger my emotions. It's when you begin to look at your emotions, you're able to say, go beyond the ego state. The ego state is very important, and we need the ego to survive. However, we are more than ego. We have this immense intelligence that's waiting for us to discover it and live from it and operate it, to learn how to function, how to use it. All right, so I discovered my intelligence through my teacher. I didn't realize I had it. I always lived a life of desperation and feelings of great inferiority before I met my teacher, and I discovered my mind, which has taken me a long time to be able to work with it. But hopefully with my work, my videos, and the way I work, you'll discover this part of your mind that is so beautiful, so rare, and it's really the part of the infinite intelligence. I'm not talking about the Christian God. I'm talking about Spinoza's God and nature, which are synonymous, which is a non-personal God, a non-anthropomorphic being. But let's start with this book. Do you understand the begin again principle? Do you know how to begin again at any moment and leave the past behind? How to disengage your mind from old negative memories and live in the present, going towards a better state and a better future? I just read that, of course, but you must read it over and over again to let it penetrate the wall of resistance. See, we all have an ego, and the ego thinks, oh, I know that already. I heard that already. But you know what? Your life is really screwed up, isn't it? You go into depression, you get angry instantly. You're not satisfied, you feel not whole, you're lonely, you're probably addicted to your cell phones, the videos, whatever. But there's another way to be in a present, to be in an awakened state. All right. So I've read this over and over again, thousands of times. And each time I read it, I go a little deeper with it. All right. Are you chained to the past and to regrets, shame, and guilt, which is rooted in the illusion that you have free will? Look, he brings up the idea of free will. So what is guilt? Guilt is saying, and what is shame? And what is judgments? We believe that what we did was, we have free will. We have the free choice to do what we did. Well, we do have choices. We have many choices. But the ones that we gravitate towards are the easy ones, and they guide us. We don't realize that, yes, we're aware of our desires. We're unconscious of the causes of them. But let's not worry about that, about the free will yet. But let's look at guilt. You have guilt, you have shame, you have regret. Why? Because you believe what you did, you should not have done it. Or you did I've done some stupid things when I was in my teens and also in my 20s and my 30s. My 40s and 50s, I've done a lot of crazy and stupid things. I'm judging it. Yes, we all judge. But judgment is saying we should have been different. The reality is, I was where I was. I only was able to express with the knowledge that I have. As you improve your knowledge, your life will be improved. So if you have old memories, old way of acting out or solving problems, you'll always live in regret and shame and guilt. To begin again, you must have some degree of I consciousness. What does that mean, I consciousness? Well, Gurdjieff talks about the idea of becoming a master of oneself. To know thyself, as Socrates would say, is the greatest knowledge of all. And this is what I've learned from my teacher and through Spinoza and Gurdjieff, is how to learn about oneself, especially our emotions, your emotions. And that's why I suggest the journaling process. Again, I use a journal. I write down when the events trigger my emotions, my pain, my hate, and my anger. And because when my desires are not met, when your desires are not satisfied or not met, you're going to go automatically into pain. You didn't choose to go in pain. Pain is just saying, I didn't get what I wanted. So you go into a complaining state. You live in the past. You probably, something triggered one of my students. He was with his son. Son was celebrating his birthday. And he was going into a restaurant that his son loves. And he was sitting there thinking about his own environment, how his father never did this to him. And he was so fortunate to do this with his son. But he was, at that moment, he was in the past thinking about his father never loving him, guiding him, and showing up for him. And so he had a lot of painful experiences with his father. And this is what happens. Is that free will? I choose to dream about and think about my father? No, it just happens. We are triggered by our past, and we are triggered in the moment, but we live in the past, how to deal with the problems in the present. All right. To begin again, you must have some degree of I consciousness. Well, I consciousness is your true intelligence that I'm trying to help you understand that you have. You must learn how to access this intelligence. And that's why the journaling process is so important. Write down the facts, what disturbed you, what emotions are working in you, write it out. I have many videos about journaling, so look them up. You might go to my website, wayofspinoza.com. Wayofspinoza.com. There are over 50 videos there. Or join me on my Patreon, $5 a month. Big deal, but you're getting so much. Also, these books are available, Amazon.com. And you can buy some used books. Gurdjieff, In Search of the Miraculous, is available. Go to my website, you get the right In Search of the Miraculous. Or Spinoza on my website. Go directly to Amazon.com. You get some discounts. Piece of cake. All right. So the idea of I consciousness is we want to activate the mind. This is the I of intelligence. The true intelligence is different from the ego-intellect. The ego-intellect is important. We learn how to survive, how to work, we're educated, and some of you are very highly intelligent individuals, high IQ individuals. But the I of unconsciousness is a different level of intelligence. So you're able to go through school, no big deal. You might have a great career. You might be an attorney. You might be a doctor, or you might be a great hairstylist or a layperson. You might be a chef, or you might be a waitress. But what you do, are you putting it 100%, or are you just trying to get away with it? Do as little as possible. When we are activating our intelligence, we want to take that extra step to improve our understanding. To understand Spinoza, it takes great effort. And that's why I'm here to help you understand. Many of my students had Spinoza on the shelf, could not understand it. Why? Because it requires a different part of the mind. It includes intuition and reason. All right. Destiny is not an outer condition. It is an inner state of mind. Fate is to be in the world and of the world. Destiny is to be in the world, but not of the world. A conscious pursuit of destiny is to create a kingdom within ourselves. What is this kingdom? Clear ideas, adequate ideas. When we see clearly and we understand, we have peace, we have joy, we have freedom. Isn't that a great destiny to have? It's a possible way to be. to be free from your past, from your, when it was going to depression. Why? Because we cannot deal with the problems. We are overwhelmed. There's so many things going on in the world right now. And today's date is what? Monday, April 29th, 2024. The months are going by so quickly at my age. Probably you're a teenager, so slow. If you're an adult in your 20s or 30s, you're working, you can't wait till Friday comes, the weekend. And you hate Mondays because that's work. But this work that we're doing, that I'm trying to help you, to introduce you to, I have many videos of, will help you learn in the present and have a new life. Not to overcome the past. Many of us, see, the idea of the work is to learn how to overcome these states that we go into, how to not live in these negative states of depression, of hate, pain, and anger. As we begin to understand our emotions, that is the beginning of freedom. But you have to write these emotions down in your journal. Write down the event that triggered you, and write down 4 specific emotions. There's desire, I wanted something. And there's pain, I didn't get what I want. And there's hate. Hate is a belief that someone is the cause of my pain, which is not true. But we go there automatically. That's why road rage is so common. Believe someone cuts in front of you, and you believe that person does it purposely. That person was just driving along and needed and missed his exit ramp and wanted to get back in line. For God's sakes, people are doing things unconsciously, and you think they have free will. That's the problem. We have no idea what's going on in the head of the other person. So then we get angry. We drive next to that person. If you're a male, if you're a highly egotistical, you go over and threaten that person. You might have a gun and shoot him. Is that freedom? That's crazy. This work that we're doing, that you want to do, that you may want to do, is to help you come to peace, to joy, to happiness. I'm there. And that's why, see, I'm 83 years old. I've been doing this work since 1970. How much is that? Over 50 years. And I want to live to be 113. Why? Because I love this work and I love to share it with you. So stop, listen, pay attention. Your life is worth it. Your life is worth living. You've been given a gift. Enjoy it. Talk to you soon. Hope to hear from you.